Welcome in to a new day here in Alma, Missouri. We've got a lot of seeding to get done in this episode because here we are, one of the last days in spring, and I want to get everything seeded today. So I'm going to get a worker started in this field, and then we're actually going to go to the next field over, and we're going to get rid of all those trees that separate that. I am tired of dealing with the trees in the way all the time, so I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of them, and then we're going to plow that into one field instead of having that little peninsula go down the middle of it. But let me get a worker started in this, and then we will get that tree devourer and get started.
At the crossroads of Highway 20 and Highway W sits a quiet little community where you can walk to the post office to pick up your mail or drink a cup of coffee while waiting for the boys to load up your feed at the local mill. When you're in Missouri, you know you're home. Welcome to Alma.
Well, I went the cheaper route since I knew I wasn't going to use it for more than just this one project. So we did go unreal capacity just so we can make it look more realistic, actually. I think I got a wagon. There it is. Got a wagon back here. We'll get hooked up to that, and we will run across the street and get this thing started. Here we go. One thing I did do before I loaded in the game today, I did download the new update for the Alma map. And I did check out, and the garage door on the house does open, so I'm happy to see that. Of course, we don't normally put anything in the garage, but of course this is going to be a mess trying to get through here. But I know that, like the garage door, it was an update, and I believe the capacities of the animal barns has changed. Of course, I've not checked those out at all yet. So right now we have more animals than we need. Let's see if I can get some more of this all chopped up. These little bitty plants are just a pain. Need to get through and just delete them. But it's really nice that we can get these trees. Of course, they're going to fill up pretty quick, some of these bigger trees. But let me get through here, and I'll get a load of this up, and then we'll see what we can do. See if we can turn the wood chips into something, or if we're just gonna sell it and make a little profit off it. But let me fill it up, and we'll go find out. Well, since there's actually no production built into the game to this map that I want to use, since we're not going to be getting more wood chips than just what we get out of this one little stretch of land, I'm actually just going to take this to the train, and once we get it all chopped up, then we'll ship it over to Sedalia. So I'll run this into town, and we'll come back and we'll get the rest of it, and then we'll get a plow out, and we will plow that little stretch of land. I'll probably actually just use a field cultivator instead of the plow, because I don't want to pick up stones again for just that little stretch. So we'll just field cultivate it this time, get it ready to go, and then next year if we plow it all up again, we can pick up the stones off of it. But let me run this to town, then we'll come back, get the rest of it, and we'll get to plowing. Alright, well that should do it for this piece of land here. There's a couple trees here that the machine just did not want to get through. Not sure why not. But that's okay. I mean, they're far enough out of the field, they won't be a problem. But I'll run this 71,000 liters to town. We'll get those dropped off on the train and get the train hired and haul these to Sedalia. Then we'll come back. We'll grab that cultivator and cultivate that little stretch up. I see the guy we got back there in the Challenger. He's finished planting that field, so we'll get him probably started across the street. I think I also need to get some sorghum planted and also some carrots. So I'll probably plant carrots across the street from there, and then the field we're working in now, that's field number 31. We're going to actually plant sorghum in that because I think we can get some flour out of the sorghum in our flour mill. So I'll get this to town, get that train hired out, and see how much we can get out of it. There we go. While that is unloading, we'll run up here and get the train rented. Sure. Alright, we got the train here. Let's pull it up where we need it. I think the open compartment would probably be best for these wood chips. Let me try to line up just right with that. I don't believe I have anything else here in storage. Let's see, wood chips, wood chips, wood chips, wood chips. There they are. Oop, don't go too far. I'll load this up and head on to Sedalia. Well, we didn't quite have enough room in the one compartment, so we had to put 3,000 in the closed compartment, but that's enough to get it down the road. Let me see how much we can get out of this train full. There's our potato field on the right. Looks like we need to get in there and get some weeds removed. Not sure if I'll use the sprayer or the weeder. Probably just put the tractor on the weeder and get that done. There's another field in the corner that is a grass field up for sale. I was wanting to buy that so we can start getting some bales right away. And if I weed that field, our tractor's going to be tied up. So when I get back to the farm, we'll find out which way to go with that. But here we are. This should give us the money. $121,000. That's pretty good for just wood chips that were just from trees that were in our way. But let me get back to our Massey Ferguson tractor and get her back to the farm. I just thought I'd drive across the street real quick, because this is the field I want to put the carrots in. So we'll spread this up, put carrots here. But that field right back there, that's what I want to buy and come up here and get it baled to start getting some things in our feed mixer that we had put in, it was a couple episodes ago. But I have not been able to use it yet because I don't have hay bales or grass bales that will work. All I had was the alfalfa bales, and that processor does not use alfalfa. So I'll get a worker started up on this, and we will go by that field and get our hay equipment over here to get some hay done. Someday I'm going to have to get all this stuff pulled out, and we're going to have to get it washed off. I don't think I've washed this mower one time since we bought it. And our rake over there, our windrower, whatever you want to call that thing there, folded out. I mean, we're still leasing it. I'm debating on getting rid of it and getting an Oxbow windrower. I think they're a lot better set up, a little wider at least. Hope if I center on this thing, but I don't know if we'll have enough money to buy it after we buy that grass field. I mean, there's always other things we could probably sell if we had to, but I really want to get this new feed production operational. And until I get some grass, I can't do that, and our grass fields won't be ready till next month and then the month after for the other field that we just planted. Let me get over, we'll buy that field and get it mowed up. That is kind of interesting. I haven't bought the field yet, and it's already letting me mow it. So, but here, let me go ahead. I'll buy it to make sure everything works right, and we can keep it. Help if I'm on the right screen there. There we go. Buy it for $142,000. See, that still leaves $340. That should be more than enough to be able to buy that new windrower I want. Let me get a worker started up on this, and then we will go get that windrower and get it out into this field. Well, this is that windrower I'm going to go with. It's the Oxbow 2340. It's got 12 meter working width, and that's really good for a rake. So go ahead and buy this. We had enough money. I mean, I could use another tractor. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything on sale. No tractors on sale. Ooh, something just popped up as we were doing that. You see that? It doesn't look useful. 3 meter? I think not. Here we go. Where'd it go? Somewhere here. There it is. See, it's 150 horsepower. I wonder if our little New Holland could actually pull it. 'Cause I don't want to use the Versatile by any means, but let me hop in the New Holland and we'll see if it'll do the job. Well, obviously it'll pull it empty with no problem, but I was actually just thinking, I'm going to have to TED part of that, and that's not an issue. The issue is my baler is the quick baler, and it's going to want to wrap it, especially if it's not been tedded into hay. So I'm going to probably have to lease a new baler just so I don't have that wrapping feature, because I don't know how to turn the wrapper off on the quick bale. If you know how, be sure to leave that in the comments so I can make one baler do all the work for me instead of having to come up with a plan B. But here, this guy should have quite a little bit done. I mean, this thing rakes really fast, so it won't take long to do. I wish he would do a little bit better on the ends, but that's okay. It's not too bad. Let me get this thing unfolded. We will rake it. We'll probably rake it to the left, and then we will see what we can do. All right. I mean, that's a really awesome working width. I mean, I can get used to that. I mean, we're not going to be able to go super fast because this tractor really doesn't quite have the horsepower, but I mean, if we can rake this thing up at 12 miles per hour, I am more than happy with that. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a few hills out here that's going to take a little bit more time, but of course I'm not going to rake all of it because some of this I do need a TED. I need to make some hay out of it so I can use both hay and grass to make that total mix ration. But let me get some of this raked up here. I should be able to, now that he's going back and forth, I can actually come back and make just one big windrow here. And then we will go find some baler that we can get out here and be able to bale this up without wrapping it. All of a sudden I remembered why I tried not to buy this field in the past, and that's because the graphics at the edge of this map were really not looking too good. So that's why I was kind of leaving this field alone and not messing with it. But here I've gone all the way around. I've done the outside and that's what we're going to turn into our grass bales. And I do believe when I started on this map, I was using a square baler. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually get another square baler out here to be able to bale this up. We'll probably just go ahead and use the big versatile. It'll do the job. I see our challenger is done with that field, but I do need to get him hooked up to that cultivator to be able to go over and get that field ready to plant our sorghum in. I'm going to go ahead and park this over to the side because we don't need it anymore. And we will go get that square baler purchased and get it out here and start baling up some grass bales. Well, this is what we have just enough money for, this Massey Ferguson square baler. So that's what I'll go ahead and purchase here. Got the versatile already. Now I just got to hook up to it. Of course, we got delivery costs, so now we're really low on funds, $2,400. And I still got to either weed or spray that field. I mean, we have our hoe right over here next to the building, so we could just go ahead and use that. Then all we have is expenses of the fuel. But I mean, this definitely does not look like the right setup with this big versatile tractor and square baler, but hey, it's a tractor we have available. It's what we're going to use. I need to get the Challenger over here and get him to, cultivate that little stretch of land so he can plant that. But first I'm going to go ahead and bale that, so hopefully we can get the bales in our processing machine. I do believe this tractor is a little bit too much for this, but I mean it's working fine. I mean, it's kind of the way it steers. It's just articulating tractors in this game, they do not work right. Now I turn the wheel one way, and then of course the baler wants to go so far out of line that I miss some, but it's getting the job done. I mean, we'll get maybe 10 bales, 10 grass bales out of it, not counting all the hay bales that we'll get in a little bit. Let me go ahead and finish this. We'll probably take this tractor, the Massey Ferguson, back, and we'll get the tedder and start tedding what's remaining. Well, with a hired hand working in the field right now, tedding it, I thought this was the best time, if any, to get out here and try to create the rest of this field. I'm hoping I can line it up right. Shouldn't be too bad. I know, like I said, I have that one little tree or shrub there in the way, but I think it'll be far enough over that it won't be a problem. If I can just get this figured out right, get it lowered down. There we go. Oh, this is set up to be a plow, so it's still going to pick up those stones. If I get it turned on correctly, let me see if I did. Go for there. Perfect. Go forward and it works. That's all I care about. So I guess I will end up having some stones in this and maybe even a stump. There is a stump I've missed. Let me go ahead and just pick up over that, and we'll come back and F12 some removing of the stumps. There we go. Let me go ahead and get this little stretch of land finished up. Try not to create any more stones than I have to. Then we'll get out here. I got the Kinsey planter right down the bottom of the hill there. It's ready to roll. All I got to do is this little stretch here. But I'll do that, and then we'll get to planting. Well, the sorghum seed is going in the ground, so I thought I could come back here and do that. This field, of course, I told it to go the wrong way. I could have sworn they were turning the other way. Nope, they are going that way for sure. Oops, well, I won't bale it the best. It'll be a smaller windrow. I am going to put the little Massey Ferguson tractor on it, though. I'm not going to use the big versatile anymore. It's just too hard to turn around. But I'll go ahead and we will continue raking this thing into windrows and then get it baled up and start hauling it all off to our new processing machine. Just a little channel update for you. Our time here in Alma is probably drawing to an end in the near future. And I do have a new series that I'll be working on called The Contractor. And in that series, we'll take a small start with all we'll have is a loan and a little small piece of land with a building on it. And we're going to have to lease all of our equipment and be able to make enough doing contracts. So we'll be like a contract farmer. So we'll have to make enough money in these contracts to also not only pay for our leased equipment, but continue to pay that loan off. So that'll be the new series, hopefully coming in the not too distant future. I don't know if it'll overlap some with the Alma series or not, but I don't see Alma going too much longer. I feel like I've done about all I can do on it. I was hoping some new mods would come out that was just kind of a big game changer, and unfortunately that has not happened. Currently Alma is still my favorite map to play on. I do not know what map I will do the contractor series on. I'm still looking for that. It'll probably be a map with some a little bit larger fields. I mean, probably no larger than this, but they're not going to be really small fields because I got to make money harvesting those fields and taking care of the crops on that. So I don't want to, do a whole bunch of small fields all the time. Let me get this thing back, put it away, and then we will come with the baler and we will get all these baled up. Yes, I do believe this tractor pulls this thing a lot better than the Versatile does. I mean, the Versatile definitely had more power. I mean, this is still a little underpowered. I think this baler obviously requires more than what this tractor can put out. But, I mean, the steering-wise, I mean, that just steers perfectly. You turn the wheel with the other tractor and the thing would go crazy and be all over the place. But I'll go ahead and finish this up. Then we'll probably grab the old International truck and the flatbed trailer and get out here and get all these picked up. Well, it looks to me like he is almost done with the sorghum. I do have the Massey Ferguson over in our great big potato field right now, getting rid of all those weeds. So we're just going to run down and grab these bales, and we're going to see if I can drop it right from this truck right in to the processing machine. I'm not sure if it will work or not. If not, just have to use the New Holland tractor to throw the bales up in it. Let's find out. Alright, here we go. This is what I wanted to see if it'll work. Let's just pull right up here. We'll see if we strap them in. Nah, it won't do anything there. So let's go ahead and unload bales. Pull up a little bit more, make sure it's all on. Unload bales here. There, yeah, it worked. Took it all. Now it's full. I think we might still need some mineral feed though. Let's see, mineral feed it still needs. We'll take it without it. No, it won't. So all I need to do is get some mineral feed and it'll be ready to operate. We could also throw some straw in there too. But that should do it for this episode here in Alma, Missouri. All I got right now going on is I got the guy getting rid of the weeds in the field over here, and then we do need to spread some fertilizer, but no point of staying around watching that. So that'll wrap this episode up. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to slap that like button. And we also have channel memberships available if you would be interested. So until next time, have a blessed day, and bye-bye.
Remember, O Lord, what has come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens.